Hi, everyone. I'm Theresa Kulikowski-Gillespie, and today I wanted to talk about connection and unity and how to bring people closer together through understanding and acceptance as opposed to further dividing, further separating, which I feel has been so prominent within our world lately. And one thing that I've been doing with the hopes of promoting more connection and understanding is writing a book. And this has been really a passion project that started as an online course for gymnasts and kind of morphed into something for the military. You can read about that evolution in my book, but the book is basically stories. They're true to life stories. These are interviews that I did with people who are currently serving in the military or who have retired, lived their lives in the military, and the struggles, the insights, the lessons learned through deployments and reintegration with their families following combat tours, retiring and trying to find a new identity. These are very vulnerable stories, and I'm really appreciative to everybody who was willing to participate and allow me to share their story. I hope I've done them justice. But really, one of my goals with the book is to create connection. I know when I've read a book that has really resonated with me, there's just this feeling inside that's like I'm not alone. Thank God I'm not alone. I'm not weird or I'm not messed up in some way. And so I'm hoping that, other people who have served in the military can read these stories and maybe resonate with one or all of them in some form or fashion. Or people who haven't served in the military can read them and have a deeper understanding as to what it's like to serve in the military. Um, I think there's a lot of misunderstandings out there between all sorts of groups. We know it, it's in the news, different races, different religions, different political agendas. There's so much difference. And I read this quote on my, I get a daily flip calendar with the Dalai Lama's quotes. And, he's just this wise, loving human being who sets such an example of how we can be as humans. And he says, if we stress secondary level of differences, my nation, my religion, my color, then we notice the differences. When we relate to others from the place of compassion, it goes to the first level, the human level, not the secondary level of difference. Then you can even have compassion for your enemy. So when I hear this, it's this potential. It's moving beyond the conditioning of our minds of what's right or what's wrong, or I'm right, you're wrong, whatever the story might be in our minds, to seeing the truth of this human existence that we all suffer. We all struggle with many things throughout our lives. We all have joy. We all seek happiness. We all, I think, want peace deep down, even though maybe we don't know how to go about getting it. So, I'm hoping that with my book, it can create this connection. It can create understanding and an opening for, people to share their stories. I think the more we can seek to understand and actually listen, as I was going through these interviews, I had a set of questions that I went into each interview with, but it kind of morphed organically into a conversation. And when I left it open to the person to talk, it was just interesting what would come up. And the vulnerabilities mean some of these people I've known for a decade or so and never knew the struggles that they went through. And so I'm hoping that as people read the book, they can feel connected, they can feel understanding, more acceptance. And then, if you are somebody who wants to share their story, I'm thinking about doing another book, potentially military, potentially athletes. So, but it'll be the same format of interviewing people. I think that process of open inquiry, of asking a question and then giving somebody the space to just be fully them and respond in a way that's authentic and true, it can be very healing. I think it can be healing for the person who's being interviewed. I think it can be healing for the person interviewing because they learn different perspectives and life experiences. I mean, there's that quote, there's nobody that you can't love once you've heard their story. And as I was going through the process of interviewing, I definitely felt a deeper connection with the people that I was interviewing. And so I guess I'm just talking today because this was something that's on my mind. I, live with chronic illness and it's a day-to-day struggle. And sometimes it's easy to withdraw and feel kind of hopeless or shut down. And so today I just felt like I wanted to share a message that was coming up for me. I know sometimes when I scroll through like Instagram or Facebook, I get a little bit disheartened because so many of the younger people are, you know, sharing kind of silly videos of themselves in different clothes or, their different makeup or um, it's almost like they're creating these movies with themselves as the star, like the only person in the movie. And I think that that can create further division in our world if the future generations are basically putting themselves out there as I'm the star of my own show. I'm not sure if that is really good for deep connection and understanding and opening up to other people. I think it's great when these young individuals use Instagram and Facebook as a platform for promoting positive messages, or but when it's about, how thin they look or the clothes that they're wearing, that's just sending the wrong message and taking us further down the track of disconnect and kind of being self absorbed, which ultimately leads to a pretty sad and lonely life. So, again, I'm just kind of sharing thoughts, sharing things that have come up for me as I have a lot of time to sit with my thoughts and be present with it all, dealing with chronic illness and not really getting to go out that much. And so I hope you maybe can relate. If you watch this video and something comes up for you, feel free to reach out and connect because I know for me personally, not having those other things in my life that used to kind of define or fulfill me, like exercise and gymnastics and dance and being able to work outside of the home, and um, that connection has become even more important. Connection with friends, being there for other people. Um, and yeah, just getting real, being authentic, being who we really are, and being able to accept each other in those ways. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I would love to hear your thoughts.